Welcome to the High Ground Podcast, Stevie W.
And Callum.
And today, this episode, The Mandalorian, chapter number 6, The Prisoner.
The Prisoner, not the shitty 60 show.
No, this is the one with the child, not Baby Yoda.
No, I have to keep reminding myself not to call him that, or her.
Because of America, I'm on Instagram and everything, and it's so I've been calling it the child ever since. Naturally you do say Baby Yoda for a while, so it's the child, not Baby Yoda, because Yoda is a character. So thoughts?
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed this one. It was like pretty much a guest star extravaganza, wasn't it? Spoilers before we get into it, by the way. You had like Bill Burr, Richard Ayoade, Natalia Tena, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just everyone. It was great, and that fat guy that Batman
Boone
hangs
Jr.
upside down in Batman Begins and goes, "Swear to me."
That's Flass. He's Flass.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So I was like, when I watched it, I was like, I recognise you from Batman.
Yeah, I did as well.
So it's yeah, I really enjoyed it. I just thought of Cantina. It's like the mining again. The best of the background characters. So it's like,
Yeah, and it's good to see Twi'leks again, like live action, because they've only been in, like, since the films, they've only been in the animated, like Clone Wars and Rebels so far. So it's good to see them live action again.
yeah. I mean, of course, got a shout out to the original Ula. Ula's
Yeah,
awesome.
and
So
guy who plays Bib Fortuna.
yeah,
Is he not a Twi'lek as well?
he is. He is.
Yeah.
But Ula, I just throw it out there, Ula, because I do like Ula. So
It was good. Good to see like the. Did you notice the Dave Filoni cameo at the end as well?
it's this pilot at the end. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and yeah, I was as soon as he came on the screen. Does he loves his hats and his helmets, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah, yeah.
He may have changed the cowboy hat for a rebel fighter helmet, but you can still tell it's him. So
Yeah, definitely. As soon as I saw him, I noticed him. It was just it's really good to see like more of the New Republic before Episode 7.
yeah,
'Cause we haven't really seen. I mean, you see them briefly in the film, don't you? And then they get destroyed. But no, it's good to see like this transition period between Mandalorian and Episode 7. I really like it.
yeah, oh yeah,
And he's got his code of honor down there, hasn't he?
I love it. As soon as they started messing around with baby, sorry, I was going to do it as with the child. Sorry, here's me going on, and yeah. As soon as they start messing around with the child, you just think it's not going to end well for you. It's not ending well. It's sort of like it used to be a thing going that if you mess with the child, yeah,
You're gonna die. Yeah.
and I like the way.
I couldn't quite work out at the end if the child was using the Force or whether the Mando got that robot first.
I think it's the Mando. I think the child was going to use the Force, but I think ultimately it was the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I quite like that bit where he's like fucking with that robot like in the background.
Yeah.
He's so cute.
And Richard Ayoade, though, I mean, when you know it's him doing the voice, I mean, because we were going, who is it? It was like, then we IMDb'd it, and it was like, wow, you can actually tell. For all you who don't know who he is, watch The IT Crowd. Absolutely fantastic. One of the best British sitcoms.
I agree with that. Yeah.
It's absolutely brilliant, especially from season 2 onwards with my brain's gone dead.
Matt Berry.
Matt Berry from What We Do in the Shadows, Toast of London, and Year of the Rabbit, and pretty much absolute 80s and now absolute 90s radio idents.
Yeah, Rad 80s. He's there is a Star Wars link to Matt Berry as well, actually.
What's
and
that
it is
one?
through Toast of London.
Say again?
It is through Toast of London, the Star Wars link.
Daisy
Matt
Ridley
Berry.
appeared in her first roles in Toast of London.
She does indeed.
Yeah, she got like a little small, tiny part. So yes, but it's yeah. Now we're going off subject again to Matt
Yeah,
Berry.
sorry, it was
Matt Berry
tangent
is
number
good
one.
though. I think that as soon as we start showing season 2 of What We Do in the Shadows in the UK, that'll be another podcast. But yeah, Natalie Tenner, Tonks. Now she's if I'm right, even though I haven't watched it, she's Game of Thrones, Harry
Naked Game
Potter.
of Thrones.
Okay, that's the reason why you guys shouldn't be watching Game of Thrones. Harry Potter, and now
Yeah.
Star Wars. So it's nice that they live at the end. Which sorry, spoilers. You should have known this before you're coming into this. We do spoilers, but having the characters at the end, Mando not killing them off, was a
Yeah.
good bit of business.
And having them locked in the same room so they'll just do each other's heads in.
Oh yes, oh yes. And even we haven't mentioned it yet, but Clancy Brown, the Kurgan.
Yes, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, yeah, because he's also in Clone Wars. Plays Savage Opress, Darth Maul's brother.
Ooh. You know what? I think we're going to have to watch the Highlander again, because the
Oh yeah,
Highlanders,
definitely.
they should. In the end, there can be only one. And
Yeah, I hadn't realised how much of a big guy he is.
yeah, Clancy Brown. Let's have a quick look.
And if I'm not incorrect, the species he was playing was is it a Deveronian?
Yeah.
My Star Wars knowledge is getting plumbed at the moment.
You look at his. You look at his IMDb. He's Mr. Crab in SpongeBob. He's in Tangled the series, Mandalorian.
Plays Lex Luthor in Superman animated series.
Jeez. My God, it's huge.
I always remember him from Starship Troopers.
And he won a soul, one of the generals or something. God,
Yeah,
he
he's
is
like the
one.
sergeant, drill sergeant at the beginning.
See the one that I'm mixing up with Michael Einstein. Do you get me? We get you, sir.
Oh yeah, no, that's Michael Einstein. Yeah.
I need to
I
watch
wish
that
he was
again.
in Star Wars. That'd be great.
Oh yeah. Oh. No, Michael. No, that I haven't watched that film since the '90s. I really should watch it again because Super Troopers was actually groundbreaking. But
Super Troopers. I hate that film.
not Starship Troopers. I mean, Super Troopers is another subject which is also groundbreaking. I love Super Troopers too. Starship Troopers. But I just want to go. I do love Super Troopers.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Sergeant Zim in Starship Troopers.
But do you know the bit you were on about earlier when they all get captured at the end, basically?
Yeah.
The scene where the Mandalorian's stalking them all, I thought that was really like cool, like because it was kind of not like a horror, but the whole sort of, it reminded me a bit of Aliens, like the lighting, the dark red lighting, and going dark every now and again. It was kind of like a hunt sequence, wasn't it?
And of course you've got the plane, you got the white of the ship. So yeah.
Yeah,
Instead of
definitely.
Instead of the monster chasing the bad guys, it's the good guy chasing the monsters.
Yeah.
So it's very clever.
There's apparently Bill Burr used to, not, I don't think he hated Star Wars, but he said like people that watched it and liked it were really nerdy and and then like he ended up being in it. Apparently, like he came around to it in the end, I think.
Wow. But everybody is entitled to change their mind on something. Come on, look.
Yeah.
We won't. I mean, the natural progression of the prequel trilogy is you love it when you first saw it in '99, then you hate it, then you realise actually it's not that bad. If you look at all the Star Wars mythology that's been taken from those prequels that everybody hated, it's unbelievable. It's probably more.
Well, I mean, you've got a whole animated series based on one of them.
Yeah, and all the mythology about the Jedi comes from essentially episodes 1, 2, and 3. So people that go on about how bad the prequels are, without giving it a chance. I mean, ever since this is pre-High Ground podcast listeners, we had that conversation about how groundbreaking. We had a fluid conversation, and we were discussing the prequels and how Phantom Menace is actually is as groundbreaking in some senses as THX, A New Hope, and American Graffiti for what it did for cinema. And it just took a little bit longer for that one to actually realise. So
Yeah, I think like the original trilogy, sort of they got sort of grasped immediately because of the time that the original came out. Whereas I think the prequels needed a bit maybe even a decade to sort of stew over and like ruminate, and then when things have happened that have happened now, we kind of look back and think, wow, they actually were quite forward thinking,
yeah,
politically wise even.
society needed to change and catch up with it. It was did George Lucas know? This is for another podcast. But did George Lucas know the way society was going to go?
Yeah,
I mean, the whole line of
or is he just very good at seeing the patterns that lead to it?
yeah. I mean, so this is this is the whole quote about. So this is how this is how democracy ends with thunderous applause,
Yeah,
and it's very relevant. And but I think that we're going to save this for we'll save this for when we start doing the audio commentaries, which will be coming as soon as we can get out of lockdown.
oh yeah, definitely.
So to go back
Which
to
one will we start with, just out of interest?
which
Because you
one?
don't have to do them in order.
No, God no. I'd like to start with the Phantom Menace.
Yeah,
No, I know which one I'd like.
I'll go with that.
I know because I know which one I also would like to leave. The last two when we do them is going to be if I have my way. Again, we're a democracy, not a dictatorship. I think in terms of the Star Wars films, the three polarizing ones for me, I think will have the best uh, listeners as well. Is going to be best in terms of fun to play with. Is going to be the Force Awakens, Attack of the Clones, and the Revenge of the Sith. Those are the three I think when we. This is me looking towards the future, the horizon. Never my mind on what I'm doing. Those three. So episodes 7, 2, and 3, in my opinion, are going to be the fun ones because of our differing opinions on them. And
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say 8, but we both really like it, don't we? It's
yeah,
just a lot of people we know don't like it, so it
exactly.
probably wouldn't be as. It'd be interesting for the ones that we're different, not different, but polar opinions and sort of.
Here's the thing, listeners. This is something we've discussed at length. Is Canto Bite? Canto Bite is a bit of a point for you, and
Yeah,
it's
we've brought it up a few times actually, haven't we?
yeah, and but it's different. But it's if we both thought the same, then it would be a one-person podcast. As is,
And a boring world.
yeah. If you wanna have a look, if you want to hear what it sounds like when two people have the same opinion, scroll down the podcast and find the Batman one in under 10 minutes. That's what happens when you have the same opinion about something. It is not that it's a bad podcast. It's just that we have the same opinions on it.
I
So
listened to it recently actually, and we agree right at the start with each other.
yeah,
So like, even though it's an under 10 minute, like a minute or 2 minutes in, we're kind of like, yeah, yeah, Michael Keaton's the best Batman, yeah, yeah. Like like I say, it's not bad, like because we still talk about like the other ones, but it's just the ones where we not necessarily disagree, but you know, slightly different shades of agreement, shall we say, are way more interesting.
exactly. I totally 100% agree with you on that one. But
See, it's a
yeah,
shame like we haven't found an episode we both are disagreeing on with the Mandalorian yet because they've been so great so far.
they have been fantastic. Okay, okay. What I'm going to ask you now is, out of the 6 episodes we've watched, which one has been your favourite?
Oh, probably the village one with Cara Dune. I really like that because it was just like Seven Samurai basically.
Episode 5, the gunslinger, because
Oh, that's because you fancy Ming now though.
yeah, that is it. But it also, I'm not going to deny that she is very, very fine. But for me, it felt like when I was watching it, it was like it felt Star Wars and seeing the cantina. It was a real flashback for me.
Not
But
just a cantina, the cantina,
yeah,
wasn't it?
it was, and seeing it and seeing the speeder bikes from episode 2, it really that's I mean that's but having said that, that is not being derogatory of any of the other episodes. They're all fantastic, but that's just had more of a personal connection for me.
Yeah.
So for the record, Cara Dune is fine as well. She is really fine. Gina Carino. So, because she's the highlight to me of the Deadpool movie. But
Yeah,
yeah, because she's got that spark about her. But actually seeing Natalie Tenner in the Prisoner, that was so cool because I like the character of Tonks, and now I have to watch Game of Thrones. Thank
you
you.
do. Yeah.
But like I said, okay, what was the actual? Okay, what was the highlight of the Prisoner for you?
Um, Probably like what I was saying earlier, the hunt sequence when he escapes from the prison cell. I rather really like that. Just the way it didn't show you him catch all of them at all.
Yeah,
Just showed you them like disappearing one by one.
I'm gonna go Dave Filoni in an X-wing.
Oh yeah.
Can I just do a bit of a gratuitous plug for a show that I really, really, truly love on Netflix? If you want to see Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau chatting Star Wars films and cooking, the Netflix series The Chef Show, watch it. Absolutely fantastic. So that's my gratuitous plug for a show I truly love.
No, I agree. It's great. I mean, I haven't watched all of it, but I've watched sort of like watched all of the first part. The volumes they do,
Yeah.
and some of the ones in the second volume with directors that I like. I think the Sam Raimi one I watched.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen any of the other ones. But I will get around to them. They are great. I must admit, I don't really like cooking shows, but that's different, isn't it?
Yeah. This is another again for another podcast, but as a Jon Favreau fan and a fan of his film Chef, as soon as they announced the word The Chef Show, that was up there with watching The Mandalorian to me because I love Star Wars and I also love the film The Chef. I think it's one of the greatest films in the last 10 years. That's just my opinion. Inspirational films, should I say. So I put The Chef Show up there with The Mandalorian in the sense that, alright, I truly love The Mandalorian, but I find The Chef Show inspiring and inspirational as well as the movie The Chef.
Yeah.
Okay, out of 5, what are you rating episode 6?
I'd probably give it 4.5. I really did enjoy it.
I'm gonna give it 4. I loved it, but I just loved episode 5 for that bit more.
I think like the guest stars were really well chosen. They weren't just sort of like, oh, here's some nerdy stuff flung in. Like it was just like they all fitted the character they were
Yeah.
playing, so it was really well done. It wasn't just Ghostbusters 2016 cameos.
Oh,
It
I
was
hated that.
really good.
That's true because at the end of the day, they've got people. Anyone you say to anyone want to appear in something Star Wars, they'll go yeah. They'll appear
Yeah,
in a
of course.
stormtrooper's helmet like Daniel Craig in The Force Awakens.
Yeah,
So
I mean they do it in Rebels and Clone Wars. The cameos are really well used. They're not just sort of plonked in. It's like they've got the original actors and they're really well done.
What about the episode? There's an episode I actually purchased on Google Play with Daniel Logan playing Boba Fett,
Oh, the
and
Bounty Hunters.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's great.
Simon
Actually.
Pegg plays Dengar.
Dengar, yeah, yeah. I
So
thought it was Zucker, so it's Dengar,
it's
isn't it? Yeah.
Dengar. I was like, oh, I can't believe. Yeah, that was me fanboying out on that one.
The only disappointing voice acting decision, but I suppose it makes sense really. In season 2 of Rebels, there's an episode with Leia in it, but it's not Carrie Fisher. But and then I thought she would have sounded older than she was because
Yeah.
it's pre A New Hope. So and she actually has the outfit. If you've ever seen like preliminary sketches of Leia, it's on Empire of Dreams documentary. Her outfit's actually that, but
Oh.
given like colour. I can't wait till you watch all this actually, so you know what I'm on about then.
I've actually got a figurine. I bought it a couple of years ago from of a Leia from Rebels because I saw the one cheap in a shop and I had to have it. I was like, it's Princess Leia figure, I'm having it. So because it was like only £2, it was like Star Wars figure for £2. How often do you get to see that anywhere? Have it. It might be worth something in a few years. Not that I'm going to sell it. So yeah, how how to justify buying anything Star Wars related if you're in a relationship and you can't really afford it? Tell your partner that it might be worth something someday, even if you know it's not.
And then don't sell it anyway.
Yeah. So that's it. When it comes, so when is it going to be wrestling so we can sell it? Yeah, not yet. Think of it. You always make some excuse up. But that's all. That's again going off subject. So yeah. So we basically talked pretty much for the duration of what the episode would be. 20 minutes. So that's been our opinion of episode 6 of The Mandalorian. I'm Stevie W.
I'm Callum.